guys, it's Patricia and welcome to Tester Tuesday, where I get to use up some testers and I get to review 2 scents with you, and so that you guys can become familiar with 2 scents each week. Now, it's a little bit different because I'm kind of cheating. I'm not really using testers, I'm using bars for the next little bit, but we're kind of going with limited release scents. I'm waiting for the summer collection. I'm still waiting for the Father's Day collection, so I've actually added a couple wild card spring and summer scents into our mix. At the end of the video, you'll see. But how did voting go last week? Well, we had 174 votes, and in first place we have this really pretty pinkish red colored wax, and it had 31% of the vote, and it is Picked for You. And in second place from the Mix It collection, we have a very similar colored wax, almost the same color. This one had 21% of the vote, and it is Juicy Apple Raspberry. So let's talk about our first place scent this week. It is Picked for You. This is from the Mother's Day collection. We only had 1 scent released from the Mother's Day collection, but this was available in a bar, and it was also available in pods, which I do not have. This is a limited time only fragrance, so once it's gone, but if you put the bar in your Scentsy club, you can get it as the Always Get My Bar feature. Will it come back? Who knows? I would put this in the floral category, almost like a fruity floral, feminine fruity floral. The scent description is Lush's Lychee Blossom and Honeydew Melon waltz with white amber. So we have Lychee Blossom, and it could be lychee or lychee. Everybody pronounces it differently. I looked it up and there's a big debate. I just go with what comes to me naturally. So sometimes you see lychee and you immediately go to fruit, but we're talking the Lychee Blossom. So this is where the floral comes in. And I think lychee blossoms are very similar to a little bit on the rosy side of things. So the floralness to me is almost like a little bit of a rose without the powderiness. I don't really get powdery. So that is really appealing for a lot of people. Now, I'm not huge into knowing what each individual floral smells like. All I know is when I like a floral, I like it, and when I don't, I don't. But the fact that there's honeydew melon in here, I think that's what makes it a very universally appealing scent, because it adds sweetness. And sweetness or fruitiness with a floral works really well. And when you smell this, I don't know if I can pick out honeydew, but my nose knows that it smells like something I've smelled before. And I thought to myself, what is it? It's almost like you took beach daisy and subbed out the floral for a different floral, but it gives you that vibe. It gives you that vibe of a very pretty, well-rounded, sweet, fruity floral. Then the last note we had was amber, white amber. Now, amber can kind of give like a perfume characteristic to a scent. You have dark ambers, which can be kind of aggressive and a little bit like on the scary side of things for some people, and white amber is more of a perfumey feminine amber, and that's what you get here. Now, I only got the white amber towards the end of the warming, but let me just tell you how it did. So obviously, this is the first time warming it. I warmed it in 2 different spots, so I used 6 out of 8 cubes. The first spot I wanted to warm it in was my open concept layout, which is a very challenging zone. I have 3 warmers there. I take 4 cubes and I divide it amongst 3 warmers. How did it do there? Well, I would say strength and throw was about 7 out of 10. Sometimes I felt like it was higher than that, and sometimes I felt it was lower than that. And I think what's going on is I've been warming a lot of florals lately. And sometimes when you warm a ton of similar scents in the same family, it gets a little bit harder to pick up on different things. So my advice is, if you are going nose blind to a scent that you normally do very well with, mix up things, not literally, but change things up by mixing a different scent family in your home for a little bit, and it'll kind of reset your nose. Sometimes I say melt something coffee. It kind of resets your nose as well. Anyway, I left this going for 2 days, a total of 25 hours starting and stopping. And on the second day, I remember my daughter and I went for a walk, and we came back home, and this was going in my main area, but I had Welcome Summer going in my entranceway, and between those 2 scents, I'm like, oh my gosh, our house smells amazing. And this was on day 2. So sometimes you just have to leave and come back to kind of really appreciate that, yes, the scent is still going strong, it's still doing well. Oh, this is so good. I am in love with the Picked for You. Push and pull like a magnet do. It makes me think of a time that my son, he's always picking dandelions and giving them to me, and I'm like, I don't want these. But you have to be nice because it's your kid. But when I was in university, I had a young person pick me some flowers, and I was kind of behind a counter so I couldn't see, and he's like, I picked these flowers for you. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And then he held them up a little bit further and the roots were still attached. The dirt was like dripping and falling off them, so he picked them out of the flower bed in front of the store. I'm not sure why his mom let him do that, but anyway. The other area, I'm getting sidetracked, the other area I warmed this in was my room, and I'm actually warming it here again. So this is day 3 for this, and I'm at about the 35-hour mark. I'm probably going to take it out soon just because I want to kind of change things up. So I'm going to say if you're someone that likes maybe scents like Beach Daisy, or if you like peony petals but wish it was a bit stronger, this will probably do it for you. Or if you're someone that kind of misses sweet pea and vanilla, there's no vanilla in this, but that sweet floral scent that sweet pea and vanilla had in our catalog is gone now. So I'm hoping that Scentsy will bring this one back. I would say you could warm this in pretty much any area of your home. It did pretty well in my open layout, so I was pleased with that. It lasted a fairly long time for a scent, so I was pleased with that. I'm hoping they return this to the catalog next spring and summer. I think they will. It seems pretty well received. And would I repurchase this? Right now it's in my Scentsy Club. I think I have 2 more bars coming to me, and then I will put it on a 1-bar status every 3 months. So that is picked for you. I really like this one. Okay, let's talk about our second place scent this week. It is Juicy Apple Raspberry, another pink, pretty packaging. So this was a limited time only collection as well. It's in the Mix It collection, which is sold out. And I would say this is definitely in the fruity category. It's got a picture of it right there. This is designed to be mixed with other things, but I warmed this on its own. The scent description is, this sweet and luscious scent will brighten any combination with a perfect touch of fruity fun. So obviously we don't have scent notes, but we know from the title that there's juicy apple and there's raspberry. So I don't know if they're implying that the apple is juicy or the raspberry is juicy or both. But the apple to me gives it a nice tang and acidity and a bright freshness, and it's not very heavy like apple juice. It's more like a green apple. It's really, really nice. It's nice and fresh, and maybe it's because Apple Crush was warmed last week. It's kind of fresh in my mind, but kind of reminds me of the apple in Apple Crush. Now, the raspberry, it's a good one. On cold, I think this is a pretty good scent. I wasn't wowed by it, but I was like, oh yeah, it's respectable, it's great. And then I put it in the warmer. Now, the raspberry, I should go back. The raspberry is a nice, gentle raspberry. It's not an extremely aggressive raspberry. It's kind of like the apple kind of dampens some of the tartness of the raspberry, and it's very sweet. And it reminds me of my old house where I used to live. We had raspberry bushes outside along the periphery of our yard, and you would just go, and the sun would be hitting you, and you'd pick them, and they were just tiny and small, but you pop them in your mouth, and they were so juicy and fragrant and fresh and great. And that's the raspberry I get from this. So not like those crappy ones that you buy at the store. Sometimes they're not the best. Okay, so I put this in my warmer. And I put 3 cubes in my son's room downstairs, and I put 2 cubes in my daughter's room. So I went in my son's room first, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this scent. I love this scent. And it reminds me a little bit of this. Blizzard Berry, which I am hoarding because I was a dummy and didn't put in my club. This is a little bit stronger, but it kind of reminds me of this. And I was like, oh my gosh, when it's warming, I was like, oh, I love it. And then, just like that, I felt like it was gone. Okay, so strength and throw. Let's just backtrack. Strength and throw, son's room, 7.5 out of 10. Daughter's room, 7 out of 10. So, you know, pretty respectable. But it felt like it just died off. Like if maybe 3 or 4 hours later, it was like about half intensity. And then like 3 or 4 hours later, it was like, where did it go? And that was the night that I went for the walk. And I definitely walked into their rooms, and I definitely couldn't smell it. Maybe it's because the pick for you was kind of kicking it up a notch. I don't know. But it just kind of fizzled out for me. And I was super disappointed in the longevity of this. So very, very much like the scent. A little bit disappointed in longevity. Now, let me just tell you, if this is designed to be mixed with something, then it's probably more like unidimensional. So it doesn't have layers of scents to kind of keep it long lasting. Like most scents, they would have layers of different notes so that you get a multi-tiered fragrance, and it kind of, certain notes will go away quick, certain notes last longer, and the base notes last quite a bit. Well, maybe we don't have those base notes in this, and so that's why it just goes away. and maybe being mixed with something, it would kind of use it to its best potential. I'm not sure. I will mix more of this, and I do have one other bar, so I am going to do a little bit of experimentation. But let me just say, if you like blizzardberry, I think you might like this. If you like fresh appley scents that aren't like a Mac apple to me, I think you would like this. And if you're okay with raspberry, I think you would like this. So I would stick to medium zones for this. And remember, if you want to mix something like this, it's best designed to be mixed with something close to it in the scent family. So this would be great. Probably mixed with a citrus. It could probably be mixed with a fresh. It can be mixed with a bakery. It could be mixed with a floral. So it can be mixed with all the scents from that box, I would think. And will I repurchase this? No, I'm a bit disappointed with how it fizzled out, but I'm going to experiment, like I said, and warm it in other spots. So let's get to drawing for the 6 scents this week. You're going to see 4 scents from the Mix It collection and 2 wild card scents. And as my other items come, we will switch it up and add different collections into this. So scent number 1, oh, I forgot to tell you what to do. I'm sure the people that have voted all the time know this. You could just fast forward through this part. If you're new to my channel, you're going to vote for 2 different scents by Wednesday morning from the 6 that I've picked. And if you cannot vote here, you can vote on my Instagram, which is Patricia Gates. Vote by Wednesday morning. I can't remember anything else because I'm all frazzled. Anyway, scent number 1. Rainfall and Lush Greens. Scent number 2. Spun, Sugar, and Vanilla. Scent number 3. Watermelon Wave. Not to be confused with Watermelon Tangerine. Scent number 4. Grapefruit Orange. Scent number 5. Honeysuckle Peony. And that leaves scent number 6. The green wax of Alpine Meadow. So let's review our 6 scents. We have scent number 1, Rainfall and Lush Greens from the Mix It. Scent number 2 is Spun, Sugar and Vanilla from the Mix It. Scent number 3 is Watermelon Wave, which I do happen to have a bar of, so that's why we are going with that one. Scent number 4 is Grapefruit and Blood Orange. Scent number 5, Honeysuckle Peony. Beautiful coloring on these packages, I must say. And scent number 6, the green colored wax of Alpine Meadow. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you guys have a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.